Ushwele kaMengameli Ramaphosa esiboshweni ezizinkulungwane eziyishumi nesishiyagalolunye 19,000 kuhloswe ngawo ukunciphisa ukubhebhetheka kwesifo se-COVID-19 emajele. Ungqongqoshe kazwelonke wezempilo uDkt. Zulu Mkhize usehambele isifundazwe saseKapa ukuyohlola isimo nokulandela imigomo yezempilo ekunciphiseni ukubhebhetheka kwesifo se-COVID-19. Kanti usidonsela amanzi ngomsele umholi osabambile kwi-Democratic Alliance ethula inkulumo enenhlese. Kwezesizulu kuGalaxy News asinibingelele nabathandi bezindaba. Ushwele kaMengameli Ramaphosa esiboshweni ezizinkulungwane eziyishumi nesishiyagalolunye 19,000 kuhloswe ngawo ukunciphisa ukubhebhetheka kwesifo se-COVID-19 emajele. UMengameli uCyril Ramaphosa wethule isitatimende ngempelasonto ememezela ukudedela kweziboshwa ngoshwele. Lokhu kuze ngemva kokuba inhlangano i-World Health Organization inxose amazwe ukuthi aphungule inani leziboshwa emajele ukuze kugwemeke ukubhebhetheka kwalesi sifo. Kanti iNingizimu Afrika ibalwa namazwe aphambili anenani emajele ngaphezulu emajele. Njengalokhu bebalelwa ezinkulungwaneni eziyishumi namashumi ayisihlanu 155,000 abasemajele kuleli. Kanti abayizinkulungwane eziyishumi nesishiyagalolunye 19,000 bazodedelwa ngalo shwele. Yize noma kunjalo lesinqumo sishayisa amakhala kwabanye abebeveza ukwesabela ukukhuphuka kwezinga lobugebengu uma lezinselwa abuya zidedelwa.
On what types of crimes were committed by these offenders. They were all petty crimes, and one could describe it as crimes of need that was committed by these offenders. We have ensured that we had carefully scrutinized the categories as well as the individuals to ensure that there are no violent criminals as part of this group of offenders. On the issue of petty crimes, here we're really looking at crimes such as minor crimes such as shoplifting, theft, trespassing. So it's really minor crimes that we are looking at in that instance.
Kanti okhulumela umnyango wezamajele usingabakho Nxumalo unabile naye ngalolu daba.
Okay, thank you for inviting us. Perhaps it's important to highlight that indeed it's inmates categorized to be of low risk. Roughly it will be around 19,000. And how it will happen is that we'll not wake up in the morning and open the gates and everybody walks out, or the 19,000. But each case should be dealt within its own merits, meaning the parole board will have to consider all those individual cases. So they'll be looking at the preparedness of that particular person having to be reintegrated to society, and looking at the offense that he or she may have committed, the type of programs that this person may have benefited for. And then if they deem that this person is ready to be placed back into society, they will then do so. But they will also have to attach certain conditions which this particular parolee will have to comply with. But also in addition to that, we'll also do fingerprinting and DNA, something to be taken by the SAPS. This is just to ensure that the people that we're placing out, it's people that were almost certain that they're of low risk. Because you may find that you may have been detained for a petty offense, only to learn later that you committed a number of other offenses, but you were never tried for, even if you may be found to be on the wanted list by the SAPS. So it's important that we run that DNA matching and also the fingerprinting process.
Now, Mr. Umhlonyane, the process will take up to 10 weeks, and then the prisoners will have to finish their sentences at home. Has the thought of having now the victims that are at home and now this person coming out and having to deal with the person who violated them, has that been in thought, and how is the government going to get this together?
We gave ourselves 10 weeks, but this may even stretch beyond 10 weeks because we wouldn't want to take chances or release people prematurely. Hence, it's important that all due processes are followed. This also talks to victim-offender dialogue or victim participation. Due to lockdown regulations, we will have to come up with other means in a smart way to say how best can the victims participate, either by in form of writing or video conferencing or other means that we'll have to deploy. But no one will be placed out without the victim having been given a chance to say something. We also appreciate the fact that a number of them, it's not easy to locate. but we try our utmost best utilizing our auxiliary social workers to locate them, so that at the end of the day, the system is just and fair to every South African citizen.
Kanti uma sihlabela phambili ungqongqoshe kazwelonke wezempilo uDokotela Zulu Mkhize usehambele isifundazwe saseKapa ukuyohlola isimo nokulandela kwemigomo yezempilo ekunciphiseni ukubhebhetheka kwesifo se-COVID-19. Umkhize uhambele lesi sifundazwe njengalokhu sisalokhu sikhuphuke njalo ingcindezi kazwelonke ekhulumeni ukuthi angenelele ngenxa yokusabalala ngamandla kwesifo e-COVID-19. iKapa iyona ehleze eqhulwini ngase behlonze kuba nalesi sifo njengalokhu izibalo zakamuva zikhomba ukuthi lesi sifundazwe sinohafu izibalo zikazwelonke oba nalesi sifo. Kanti ikomiti elidingida ezempilo yilona elinxusa ungqongqoshe uba ungenelela kulesi sifundazwe.
Infection prevention and control is a matter that has to be a second nature for all our health workers. So we will emphasize that, and we've had this discussion here, not only in the Western Cape, but all over the country. Secondly, the issue of ensuring that they are well protected, the provision of the personal protective equipment, PPEs, will make sure that it is made available at the right level based on the exposure of the individual and the protocol that we have issued. We have therefore a commitment to source as much of that PPE so that we always have enough on stock, so no one must be forced to go and look after patients without being properly taken care of. That is another commitment that we have to make. We've even said, and I was briefing now the Premier and the MEC, that we have formed an Occupational Health and Safety Committee, which is involving both the public and private sector, as well as the government officials and the labor, to be working together. And amongst the issues that they must deal with is the issue of the protective gear and making sure that the occupational health and safety issues are taken into account, and therefore we would like to focus on that issue. We've also discussed, and this is the matter that the MEC has also been very strongly feel very strongly about, that when it comes to testing when necessary, that we will make sure that the health workers are prioritized, so that for their own protection and the protection of the staff, we are able to make sure that we take people into the front line and we know their status, and if necessary, they must be given that necessary attention. We also urge all of them to be able to go out there, health workers, to make sure that they get to be given the flu vaccines. This is an important issue as well, because the flu season is coming. We actually want to make sure that our soldiers in the forefront are both well trained, well protected, and ready to be able to face the outbreak that we are fighting, because they are in the forefront. So I want to leave that point as well, and therefore say, at this point, this is one of the issues that we had to discuss amongst ourselves as the leadership in government. Our approach has been that the outbreak in the Western Cape is an outbreak in South Africa, and therefore it requires all of us to work together.
Kanti iKapa ezibalweni isahlezi kwaba izinkulungwane ezine namakhulu ayisishiyagalombili nesishiyagalolunye 4,809 ibekwe esithendeni iGauteng ngesalokho kuyinkulungwane eyodwa namakhulu ayisishiyagalolunye neshumi 1,910. Kanti asebedlule emhlabeni bangamashumi ayisishiyagalombili nesishiyagalombili 88 kulesi sifundazwe, kanti KwaZulu Natal isendaweni yesibili ngesamashumi amane nambili 42. Inyunyane yothisha iSADU ithi umnyango wezemfundo akabikho esimeni esifanele ukubuyisela izisebenzi ezikoleni. Le nyunyana ithi umnyango wehlulekile ukufeza izimfuno eziqinisekisa zokuphepha kwabasebenzi ekuthelelekeni ngegciwane le-coronavirus. Lokhu kuza ngemva kokuba ungqongqoshe wezemfundo amazinga aphansi u-Angie Motshekga wamemezela ngenyanga edlule ukuthi othisha nabaholi bezikole mababuyele emsebenzini mhla ziyi-11 kwephezulu. Yize kunjalo umgcini mafa weSADU uMogwena Maluleke uvezile ukuthi baluleka amalungu enyunyane yabo ukuthi angalubhadi emsebenzini kuze kube izimfundo zabo ziyafezwa. Kanti ungqongqoshe Motshekga ngeviki eledlule umemezele ukuthi uvule kwezikole angeke kubhebhethekise igciwane le-coronavirus, kodwa kuzosiza ekuhlengeni unyaka wezemfundo. Uqhube wathi ukubuyekezwa kwekhalenda lezemfundo lonyaka ka-2020 kusazocutshungulwa kabanzi ikhabhinethi.
Well, SADU has been very clear, and it is our view that we've got a very strong moral obligation to send a message to our members that we do not believe that all the minimum requirements that we have set before the Department of Basic Education have been met, and that the system is ready to receive them back into work. This could be the first SMTs members which are expected on the 11th, and then the teachers on the 18th. We are therefore saying to all our members that we do not have any evidence at this stage that the system is ready to receive them back, and therefore we are saying that they should not, at this point in time, be going back to the workplace. Well, I can confirm at this stage that the department has not, in actual fact, got back to us as a collective and taken us into confidence about the state of readiness. That is why we have actually always called for a consultative approach. We have always called for transparency, and we can confirm at this stage that we have not been advised otherwise by the department. What we know is that on the 30th of April, the Minister of Basic Education went onto a social contract with all South Africans and said that certain things are going to be met by the employer in time for us to go back to work. And right now, we do not have any evidence as a union that indeed that has been met. And therefore, we are saying that our members should stay at home. They should stay safe until we advise them otherwise.
Kanti abezenkolo bathi makuhlonishwe imithetho kahulumeni njengalokhu izwe libhekene nengwadla ye-COVID-19. U-Apostle Joseph Sithole osenhlanganweni engenza inzuzo ebizwa nge-Healing the Nation nehlose ukusiza izwekazi lase-Afrika ngalesikhathi uthi abezenkolo abazona izitha zikahulumeni kodwa bazisebenzi futhi basebenzisana nayo ukulekelela kule nhlekelele ehle elizwe lonke. Usithole kule nhlangano eholwa ngumengameli wamajaji kuleli mohwenge uthi kuningi abakwenzayo nabasazokwenza kulolu isandla kulombhidlango wokulwa nesifo se-COVID-19.
From the religious perspective, I would like to say we are very busy. First, let me just talk for our organization and other organizations that I'm related, other churches that I'm related to. We're busy with charity work. We're getting a lot of demands. We supporting families, and we're going all out and supporting families. Just yesterday, I think we gave over 15 families vouchers of 800 rands of ShopRite just to go and get food, because we realized that giving them food, sometimes we give food to somebody who doesn't have electricity and so on. So we gave them vouchers of 800 each, and we're still getting more families, and we're encouraging our members again to be giving and so on, because our list is growing and we're so busy with charity work.
Kanti uma sibuye ekhefini uzidonsela amanzi ngomselo umholo osabambile ku-Democratic Alliance ethula inkulumo enenhlese.
Uthando nokuzikhandla kanye nokusebenza ngokubambisana ikona kanye kuzosisiza ekuthenini sikwazi ukulisana negciwane le-coronavirus.
Kila mtu anaweza kubeba virusi hivi vya corona.
Una don't see wetin dey happen for town now. Coronavirus dey kpai people like say no tomorrow.
Social distancing is the new etiquette. Least we never forget.
Dulang Khaye and help
to stop the spread of this virus.
I'm here to plead with you guys, but you know what? Use a mask.
Wash your hands with soap and sanitizer and keep the good spirit.
Make you always wash your hand before you fear.
Dlala indima yakho.
It's not just for you, it's for the next person, ugogo, umkhulu, your uncle.
Healthcare workers stay at home so that they may see their homes too.
Well, as we are facing a pandemic, Galaxy News on Starset is pledging you to not just to protect yourself, but to protect others and the people you love.
I dive deep into the web for all the news and information that I can grab, so that you at home can stay entertained and informed by our 5-star studded crew.
Galaxy News is distinctly rooted in your location to bring you the lowdown on all the spiciest news in town.
We make it our business to bring in news in time, because it is your business that makes news each time.
Galaxy Universal News kuphathela indaba zishushu.
Sinilethele indaba ezishisayo ukusuka nokuhlala isiqalo nesiphetho asikhethi ihlangothi futhi ke asiqambi namanga sizokutshela zona bukhoma khona la ku
Galaxy News.
Galaxy News. Galaxy News.
From Galaxy News.
Woo!
Usabukele zesiZulu ku Galaxy News kanti udaba lwethu eliphambili sithe ushwele kaMengameli Ramaphosa ezibosheni ezizinkulungwane eziyishumi kuhloswe ngawo ukunciphisa ukubhebhetheka kwesifo se-COVID-19 emajele. Kanti uma sihlabela phambili usasidonsela amanzi ngomsele lo ngumholi wesikhashana ku-Democratic Alliance uJohn Steenhuisen. Lokhu kuza ngemva kwethula inkulumo enenhlese egxibha uhulumeni oholwa inhlangano kaKhongolose. uSteenhuisen wethule inkulumo yakhe lapho ethe khona umengameli wakuleli uselahlekisele ngethemba abahlali bakuleli. Uqhubeka wathi inhlangano kaKhongolose isisebenzisa indluzula ekholonizwe njengokuqhubeka nokungabacabangeli abahlali bakuleli.
Mr. President, by creating this lockdown crisis, you've broken your sacred compact with the people of South Africa. You've weaponized our trust and you have turned it against us. Instead of trusting citizens back, lives have been devastated and livelihoods have been destroyed through brutality and coercion. And you have turned the free citizens of our republic into the subjects of an authoritarian government. We're no longer dealing with a COVID-19 crisis. We are dealing with a lockdown crisis, an ANC lockdown crisis to be precise. Let me be very clear. There is no longer a justification to keep this hard lockdown in place. Government cannot even produce the justification. They cannot show us the modelling they use to decide when to ease and when to tighten restrictions. They cannot do this because they don't seem to know for sure themselves. And so every decision is now shrouded in secrecy. We're told to blindly trust a body called the National Command Council, a small group of cabinet ministers who don't answer to Parliament or anyone else. When asked for their meeting minutes to clarify why they backtracked on the cigarette ban, the National Command Council refused, claiming this was now classified information. I don't buy that for a second, and neither should you. The DA has filed a PIA application to obtain not only the minutes of their cigarette discussion, but of all their other decisions relating to the lockdown. It is crucial that we as citizens know exactly why, according to government, we are still in a destructive lockdown. What we do know is that government's very own epidemic expert, Professor Karim, thinks that this lockdown has already run its course and it is now of little more use. In fact, that was his view 2 weeks ago, yet here we still are. We know that the sole reason for locking the country down was to buy time to boost our healthcare response. We've done this. What hasn't happened in the past 6 weeks is not going to happen now. The only thing keeping us locked down now is fear.
Ingaphezulu kwezinkulungwane ezimbili imphakathi edinga amanzi ngokusheshsha kuleli. Umnyango wezamanzi ohola ngungqongqoshe Lindiwe Sisulu uthi sabeyihlonzile lemphakathi kanti futhi basezinhlelweni zokufinyelela kuyo maduze. Uveze ukuthi kuze kube manje sebekwazile kunikela ngamathanki asondele izinkulungwane ezingamashumi 20,000 silokhu kuqale uthaqa ezweni lonke. Ungqongqoshe Sisulu uqhube wathi basemzamweni yokulekelela ukwenza ngcubangcono izimo emphakathini ethile ikakhulukazi eGauteng, KwaZulu-Natal kanye naseKapa. Lokhu bakwenza ukuzama ukunqanda ukubhebhetheka kwesifo se-COVID-19.
Communities that needed urgent attention, but as time went on, we discovered that our counting was not in line with the needs of the community. So the need grows as people see us delivering tanks. They realize that they too might want to take to be counted as part of those in need, and so it's a never-ending cycle. As I indicated earlier when I did speak to you when you came to the command center, We had established a command center that was working together with our municipalities to understand what the need was, where we would put the tanks, and we had a shared responsibility with COCTA in assigning these places and putting them up. So far, we've delivered close to 20,000 tanks and continuing. We had been held back for a little while because the tanks that we had brought needed to be put up on a base, and so that people had would have access to them.
Kanti sekwedlule emhlabeni lo owabe ngudokotela wayenakekela lo ongasekho nowabe ngumeli oqala kuleli wentando yeningi umnumzana Nelson Mandela. Uprofessor Michael Pleat uchaze njengomngane uMandela njengalokhu asebenza naye ngaphezulu kweminyaka engama-20. Kanti inhlangano iNelson Mandela Foundation imhloniphile okaPleat yamchaza njengomunye abantu abadlala indima enkulu empilweni kaMnumzana Nelson Mandela. Kanti iGalaxy News ithanda ukudlulisa amazwi enduduzo emndenini nasezinhlanganweni ezithintekile ngokudlula emhlabeni kaPleat. Sitha kwehlanga olungehliyo. Sesibuyele ekusebenzeni izibhedlela ezimbili ezingaphansi kweNetcare eThekwini. ISt Augustine kanye neKingsway zibuyele ekusebenzeni izolo ngemva kokuvala isikhashana ngenxa yokugula kwezisebenzi ezatholakala zinegciwane le-COVID-19. Kanti lowo ongumqondisi kwaNetcare esifundazweni uCraig Murphy uthe babuyele emsebenzini ngenxa yezincomo abazithola emnyangweni wezempilo kwisifundazwe, kanti futhi bazihlanzile ngokusezingeni eliphezulu zombili izibhedlela futhi zikulungele ukusebenza.
They have done once the infection was found, has the facility been cleaned? Have they treated the patients as they were supposed to do? Which is what we told them to do, by the way. They've responded to that and indicated that they had done that. Why it had taken us more than a month to be able to open it, because we were not convinced initially that they had done what they were supposed to do. We're not convinced until they had to convince us that they had done it correctly, which includes our teams going into the facility, looking at the things that they say they had implemented. It was only then that we could allow them to open. So no, we are not pressurized, and I must be honest, we are not worried by any private businesses threatening us as government. Remember, they can't necessarily threaten us because we are the ones who give them authority.
Kanti masibuye ekhefini, umengameli waseSierra Leone uJulius Maada Bio usekhombe ngenjumbane inhlangano ephikisayo kuleli yazwe i-All People's Congress ngokuphehla udlambedla nasekuphazamiseni umpidla ngaleli zokulwa ne-COVID-19.
Uthando nokuzikhandla kanye nokusebenza ngokubambisana ikona kanye kuzosiza ekuthenini sikwazi ukulisana negciwane le-coronavirus.
Kila mtu anaweza kubeba virusi hivi vya corona.
Don't see wetin dey happen for town now. Coronavirus dey kpai people like say no tomorrow.
Social distancing is the new etiquette. Least we never forget.
Dulang Khaye and help
to stop the spread of this virus.
I'm here to plead with you guys, but you know what? Use a mask.
Wash your hands with soap and sanitizer and keep the good spirit.
Make you always wash your hand before you fear.
Dlala indima yakho.
It's not just for you, it's for the next person, ugogo, umkhulu, your uncle.
Healthcare workers stay at home so that they may see their homes too.
Well, as we are facing a pandemic, Galaxy News on Starset is pledging you to not just to protect yourself, but to protect others and the people you love.
Sikwamukele futhi kwezezizulu kuGalaxy News. Umengameli waseSierra Leone uJulius Maada Bio usekhombe ngenjumbane inhlangano ephikisayo kuleli lizwe i-All People's Congress ngokuphehla udlambedla usekuphazamisa umpidla leli zwe ulwa ne-COVID-19. Bayishumi nesishiyagalombili abantu asebedlule emhlabeni kuleli lizwe ngenxa yezibhelu ezibheduke endaweni ezintathu ngokwehlukana.
The pith and substance of the rather diabolic, sinister and inflammatory press release seeks to generate hate and disaffection towards the Commission of Inquiry. to instigate and or afford persons of interest to the Commission the opportunity to escape justice on the eve of the commencement of the Commissions in January 2019.
This latest drama is setting up a dangerous standoff between the government and the opposition. The government also threatens the leadership of the APC of legal actions in case of any ethnic violence in the country.
Let it therefore be noted that government will hold the APC leadership, including its chairman and leader, to bear the greatest responsibility for any such invited ethnic violence. Accordingly, the government will invite the International Criminal Court, ICC, to investigate and prosecute the APC leadership for fanning the embers of ethnic violence or xenophobia.
Kanti mongameli uBhaye uthi kucacile kwekati elimhlophe ehlungwini ukuthi lezi zibhelu bezihleliwe zafezwa ngenjongo yokwenza leli yazwe lingalawuleki. Kanti okhulumela i-APC uzichithile lezi zinsolo wathi zingamampunge nje futhi ziyashaqisa. Uma sihlabela phambili lowo owabe ngumengameli wokuqala webala waseMelika uBarack Obama usegadle kumongameli wasesikhundleni waseMelika uDonald Trump namsola ngoba budedengu ekubhekaneni nesifo se-COVID-19. U-Obama uthi umongameli Trump wenze isiphithiphithi besingenasidingo washaya indiva bekufanele akwenze. Kanti okhulumela ihhovisi likamongameli waseMelika uKayleigh McEnany uthi umongameli Trump usesebenzi omkhulu umsebenzi ekulwisana nalesi sifo sesidlule nemphefumulo engaphezu kwezinkulungwane eziyisi-75 75,000 kulaseMelika. Kanti kwezemidlalo iqembu elidlala eligini ephezulu yaseNgilandi eBrighton Hove isimemezele ukuthi omunye abadlali bawo setholwe enegciwane le-coronavirus. Leli qembu elingalivezanga igama lalo mdlali lithe lona ngumdlali wesithathu kuba seqenjini lokuqala ukungenwa yilo mkhuhlane. Kanti kuvezile ukuthi ababili labo abangavezwanga amagama abo sebeluleme eguleni kwabo. Leli qembu lithe lifuna ukwenza isiqiniseko sokuphephisa izimpilo zabadlali kanti futhi lisezinhlelweni zokuvikela abadlali nabasebenzi ekusulelekeni ngalesi sifo. Lokhu kuza ngemva komhlangano amaqembu akuleya league njengalokudingida udaba lokubuyela enkundleni komdlalo okubheka uba kwenzeka ngaphandle kwezibukeli enkundleni. Kanti ibhodi engamele ikhilikithi Afghanistan Cricket Board isigwebe umdlali weqembu lesizwe iminyaka eyisithupha engasihlanganisi nekhilikithi ngemva kwezinsolo zokukhwabanisa. Lo mdlali usole ngokuzihlanganisa nomgebengu ngobuhlelo ezingeni eliphezulu ngesikhathi eqhubeka imidlalo ye-T20 ngonyaka 2018. uSaid Anwar Shah Qureshi wabedlala iqembu leNangara Leopards ngesikhathi enza lokukhohlakala la. Kanti isigwebo sakhe simvimbela ukuzibandakanya nekhilikithi nanoma ngayiphi indlela. Nina bakamdlekombane sizibeka la sangaleli hora isiZulu nisibambe futhi ngesikhathi esifanayo kusasa makube kuhle usuku.
Uthando nokuzikhandla kanye nokusebenza ngokubambisana ikona kanye kuzosiza ekuthenini sikwazi ukulisana negciwane le-coronavirus.
Kila mtu anaweza kubeba virusi hivi vya corona.
Una don't see wetin dey happen for town now. Coronavirus dey kpai people like say no tomorrow.
Social distancing is the new etiquette. Least we never forget.
Dulang Khaye and help
to stop the spread of this virus.
I'm here to plead with you guys, but you know what? Use a mask.
Wash your hands with soap and sanitizer and keep the good spirit.
Make you always wash your hand before you fine.
Dlala indima yakho.
It's not just for you, it's for the next person. Ugogo, umkhulu, your uncle.
Healthcare workers stay at home so that they may see their homes too.
Well, as we are facing a pandemic, Galaxy News on StarSat is pledging you to not just to protect yourself, but to protect others and the people you love.